So we're going to start off looking at the alphabet. Now the Russian word for alphabet is alphabet, as you can see at the top of this slide. Russian has 33 letters in its alphabet. Some are very similar to English and some are very different, and that also applies to the sounds they make. So on this slide, what you can do is you can look in the bottom left corner and you can see the sounds that are very similar to English. So we have A, Ka, Im, O, and Te. And the practice is just to sound out those words. So the first one, tam, which means there. Mat, as in checkmate. When you finish a game of chess, this is what you would say. Mak is a poppy. Kak is how, as in how are you, which we will learn later on. Tak means so. So here is the alphabet. As you can see, there are 33 characters. However, you may notice that 2 of the characters do not have specific sounds attached to them, and we'll come to those in a moment. So let's run through the alphabet. First letter is A, B, V, G, D, Y, Yo, Ż, Z, I kratka, K, L, M, N, O, P, R, S, T, U, F, H, C, Ch, Sh, Sh. And then the next one is what we call hard sign. It makes the letters after that letter harder sounding. We'll look at that later. Then I, which is a bit like you have to say it from the throat. I. Then the one next to it is the soft sign, which softens sounds after it. Then E, then U, then Ya. So what we're going to do, we'll look at each of these letters within context. So these letters are ones that are very similar to English. V, Y, N, R, S, U, and K. They look the same as English, so you have to be very careful so as not to confuse them when you try and read. So here are some words that we can use to practice. First one is vies, which is wait. Son, sleep. Ucha, which is ear. Nos, nose. Sor, rubbish. Rost, which is height. Moskva, Moscow. Sibir, north. Mucha, fly. Soviet, advice or counsel. Metro, metro. Tiama, theme. No, but. Sucha, it's dry. Arena, arena. Vierna, true. Ruka, which is the arm and hand. Port, which is port. Court, court. Sort, sort. And the final one, restaurant or restaurant. So these all use letters that are very similar in appearance to those that you'll see in the UK. Now, these letters are the ones that you traditionally see in cartoons and in movies where they don't actually understand Russian, so they just draw letters because they look different. So these are those letters. So we have B, which is like in bottle. G, then D, Yo. You see it's got the 2 dots above it. That's the difference between Ye and Yo. Then Z, as in zoo. I, which is speech. E, which is an extended sound, as in the E at the end of boy. So E at the end. And L, as in lost. P, as in post. F, like fish. E, like egg. U, like Yukon. And Ya, as in yard. So here's some practice ones at the bottom. So the practice ones we have are Rim, which is Rome, Mir, which is peace or world. It was also the name of the Russian space station. Da, which means yes. Spasiba, which means thank you. Sad, which is garden. Futbol, which is football. Do svidaniya, means goodbye. Россия, Russia. Gora, hill. Park, which, as it unsurprisingly sounds like park. Now, these letters are ones that are not familiar in any way to those that speak English, because they behave and sound very, very differently. So the ones we have are j. It's a bit like saying leisure. It's that noise in the middle. Ch, which is like check. Ts is like the word cats. Then you have sh, as in fish. The next one is sh. It's like a sh and a ch stuck together. We don't really have many words like that in English. So the easiest way to think about it is if you said the word fresh chicken and you sort of merged fresh and chicken, the end sounds together, that's it. Then you have the hard sign. The hard sign just makes the rest of it sound harder. You have to intone it harder. Then you have I, as in ill. And then the last one is the soft sign. And that basically softens the sound of everything after it, or around it. So let's have some practice. The first one is journal. Like the French word for magazine, it means the same thing. Then we have chai, which is tea. Then Tchaikovsky, the composer. Then object. And you notice that hard sign in the middle makes the y and the b much harder. You intone it harder. So object. Then we have coffee, which is coffee. Con, which is a type of horse. And then dien. And you notice that the N sound is soft, yin, as opposed to n. So that concludes some of the parts of alphabet. The easiest way to get to know it is continually practicing it. So I wish you luck with that. So here's some practice. So we've chosen some logos which you would recognize from probably back home. So to your right, you probably noticed the can of Pepsi. Well, in Russian, Pepsi is called Piepsi. And P is the first letter, then Y, P, S, then E. So this is a good way to familiarize yourself with the types of sounds that the letters make. Then we have, at the top, we have Starbucks coffee. So in Russian that's pronounced Starbucks coffee. So you can see some familiarities. It's S-T-A-R-B-A-K-S. Starbucks, then coffee. Then below it, Pizza Hut. So you have the P, then the E, Ts, Ts, A. In pizza, then you have Ch, which is a bit of a throaty noise. So Ch, like a K and H together. Pizza Hut, Ch-A-T. And to the right, we have the logo for Dunkin' Donuts. Then we have McDonald's. And you notice the D. Then we have Gazprom, which is the major gas company in Russia. And then we have the national airline of Russia, Aeroflot.